Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Mazz back again with another tutorial today. We're going to go over how to assemble any Mazz Design wheels or any wheels for that instance. I'll also show you the scale hardware that I sell on the website. I put all my wheels together with it. So this will just be a step-by-step of how I do it myself. My preferred method. Like I said, this will go for any wheels out there that you're using a traditional beadlock ring. But just to go over what you'll need, 050 driver of your choice. You know, Mazz always rocks them MIPs. Your wheels with your inner ring. I've already installed it in the tire. You only need, if you're using scale hardware, you'll only need 4 regular Allens. Those are also included in all Mazz Design wheels. You get a whole bag of standard style socket cap Allens, and then you also get a bag of your scale hardware that comes with the tool. I've modified this tool a little bit just to be able to make sure that we're not tearing up any kind of you know, finishes or whatnot. But basically I just take it and put it in a drill with some sandpaper and sharpen the edge down so that there's less of a blunt tip, kind of like this side. If I can show you, that's really how it is with the hole in it when it comes, and then I just taper it down. I smooth it out with like some 400 grit sandpaper, make it real smooth. Don't go too far. You can see I left some meat there. Also, you don't have to have it, but a pin vise comes in handy. This one's like $8 on Amazon. I don't buy it for the drill bits. The drill bits are, you know, they're good for any kind of plastic or anything, but they're cheap drill bits. This little piece right here is a pretty good piece for $8. So let me get y'all set up here, and we'll get into it. First, we're going to get our foams installed and get our inner ring inside the wheel. You're going to want to make sure that your bead is around that lip, the small lip. As you can see, there's a little small lip on the top there. You want to make sure that bead is down on there. You're going to choose the direction of your tire if it's directional. So we're using some directional wheels today. So these are going to turn right. We're going to want these lugs that are directional turn this way so that they're turning to the right. So once you do that, very carefully, the more straight you go in, the more easy it's going to go in and not fight you and grab that rear bead. And at that point, I try to take my fingers and work around and massage that bead in. As you can see on the Mazz wheels, it leaves a real clean edge around the wheel. Like I said, use your thumbs and lightly go around and just massage that bead in there. I then sit my wheel down. We'll get y'all lined up here. Let's see if we can get you a little better. That'll be a little better. Once you got that down, it won't sit in there all the way by itself just because of the way the tires relax back in. You're going to then take your ring. You'll take your ring. Get it lined up generally with your holes. And I take it, let me take this off camera for a second, make sure I'm lined up. Once we're in there, once we're lined up fairly close with our holes, which I'm a little bit off, but I'll be able to work with it. I then do the same thing. I take and I massage this ring around, and this is what'll, the tire being sticky and grabbing to the aluminum ring will start to hold that bead. More time you take with this, the better, because you want to get your bead set before you really go into putting your screws in. So take our driver and our first screw. I'll try to get it in this top hole. You're going to have to kind of feel around for that first hole. We got it to grab right there. I only want to get a couple threads in it. Literally the less is more here. We'll get our second screw. We'll drop it. We'll fight with it. We just take our time here. We're in no rush. We're going to get that second screw to grab. Same thing with your third and fourth, and we're doing this in a star pattern. My wheels have a 15 hole. We drop the screw as usual. Has a 15 hole circle, so can't do a perfect star, but just get it close. You want one on each of the four corners. Sometimes you'll want to get the screw started by turning it backwards a little bit. Sometimes you'll hear it click and then you can go in. Well, you're not back through, cross threading any screws. But we're just getting those in there. They're in there lightly. There are only a few threads on each one. We go back around, press our wheel, make sure our back's still in there. Back's still good. This is just a sample set of wheels. So now go back to the driver, and same as I always tell y'all, y'all don't need a ton of torque on these screws. We're talking about 1.4 screws here. You don't need a ton of torque to hold this tire in place. So get them snug down. I just snug them. I then kind of go around and I pull my bead just a little bit, just to make sure we got an even bead all the way around. Back is good. Then I go back and I give it my final torque. And when I do that, I just go around in the star pattern, snug them down. You're trying to get your final torque on these 4 screws, because after that, I don't go any further with the stock style screws. I stop there. All my stuff is going to be scale hardware. So then I just take my tool and you don't have to have it. I've done a million sets without it, but taking this little pin vise and unscrewing it, it's like a drill chuck. It's nothing special. It's like a drill chuck. Unscrew it. Slide your tool down in there. Leave a little bit hanging out the end so you're not real close up on the wheels. Give it a good snug. Then instead of using that little tiny tool, you have a nice little driver. So all I'm going to do is start from here and go all the way around with my scale hardware. And you don't have to torque. You don't want to strip these heads out. I've never stripped one ever. Just literally snug them down tight. You don't need to try to put pliers on the tool or nothing like that. Snug them down, because these 4 screws have already completed the clamping force that you need. So Once these go in and they're snug down and you pull these 4 screws back out, that clamping force is still held. And then you're going to put your last 4 scale screws in, and that's going to finish the wheel off. So once we get back from that, I'll come back to you and we'll show you what it looks like with the scale hardware installed. All right, guys, so I'm back with you. So what I've done is taken out the 4 traditional socket head Allens. You know, your traditional. And I've put 3 of the 4 back in. What I did want to go over with you guys is I take this tool before I put it in this, and I actually put it on. I have welding magnets, but if you have neo magnets, anything from like a magnet mount or something like that, sit the tool down like that. Obviously not in this pin vise, but set it down like that, flat on it, and let it stand up. Let it sit there for like 5 minutes. It'll magnetize it. So that way, when you go to put your screw in there, your screw will stay in even if you're holding it down. So we'll get this last one. We'll get this last one going. And like I said, you literally, that's enough torque right there. 2 fingers. 2 fingers. You don't need anything more than that. If you're using more than that, you're over tightening it. You do not want to, nothing worse than getting a wheel almost put together and breaking a screw off in it. With these scale screws, I have come to find out, I just did actually find 1 screw in this entire pack. I've done the other wheels. This 1 screw, the tolerance wasn't right on the threads, and it acted like it was stripped the hole out, but it didn't. It was actually just not enough threads on the screw itself. When you look at it, you can actually see it. There's nothing on there. I'd show it on camera, but it's not going to pick up. But the screws are like the threads are non-existent on that screw. And that comes out of the bag like that sometimes. You know, there's 100 screws in this, and most wheels will take 80 max. Mine takes 60, so you got 40 screws left over. You can use these for, you know, if you get a couple bags of these, they'll do 3 sets of wheels. But that's the wheel completed. Bead is on there nice and plush all the way around. Same way on the back. This is a sample wheel. This is why we do samples. They drilled they tapped the wheel too deep, further than I asked. But that's not what this video is about. But just for the people in the comments that ask what those are in the back, that's just where they went. They almost punctured through. But anyway, that's why we do a sample wheel. They already have the fix for it. So we got that wheel all together. Scale hardware looks sweet in it. And that's how Mazz goes about doing his wheels. There's nothing to it. The more time you take doing it, the more, the better experience you're going to have with it. I can promise you that. You get in a rush doing this and you're going to set yourself up for failure. I promise you. I'm one that's impatient as all can be, but I've found out when I need to be patient and when I can rush through something. About 100% of the time, you can't rush through anything. So, this, yeah, it's a lot of screws, but once it's on there, you don't have to mess with it anymore. And, you know, like I said, it's all about enjoyment in the RC game. So the more you try to rush and screw things up, the less enjoyable it is. That's not what we're looking for. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Turn that notification bell on so you get notified whenever I put a video up. And until next time, you guys have a good one. Jenna.